Welcome to the lecture number 28th of the course, the Extra High Voltage AC and DC Transmission System. So in the previous lecture, we discussed about the features of the converters, transformer, features of converters that are used in HVDC, about the features of the smoothing reactor, features of the conductor, earthing electrodes, the features of this harmonic filters, as well as this reactive power support. So one thing I forgot to mention here in the features of the rectifiers, it was that in HVDC system we assume that the load has infinite inductance. Infinite inductance means when inductance will be infinite, what will be the current at that time? The current will be constant, because we are assuming that in HVDC current remains constant. That is why we are using smoothing reactor. Okay, so we are saying the load has infinite inductance, so that the DC current, it remains constant and ripple free. However, the voltage, it is not constant. It will not remain constant, but it will have pulses. It will be in the form of pulses. For example, I am showing here, this is current. Okay, so current is constant. However, if I will show a waveform of a voltage, it will not be constant, but it will have these pulses like shape. So that is the assumption, that is the load has infinite inductance, so that the current remains constant and ripple free, but the voltage, it will not remain constant, it will have pulses. So next, let us discuss some of the simple definition that will be used in HVDC. So the first definition I am using, I am saying the valve rating. What is the valve rating? You know, when in a rectifier, suppose we have a rectifier, bridge rectifier, you know, if one pair of this switches, they are conducting, what will happen to the other pair of diodes? The other pair of diodes, they will be reverse biased and they will face some voltage which is called as peak inverse voltage. So valve rating is nothing but simply the product of that peak inverse voltage and the average current, I average. So I am saying that the rating, volt ampere, valve rating is simply the volt ampere rating. Valve rating means volt ampere rating. This is not the voltage rating, not the current rating. This is the volt ampere rating. So valve rating or the volt ampere rating is simply the product of the peak inverse voltage and the average current, I average. So I am writing here that the peak inverse valve rating or volt ampere rating is peak inverse voltage multiplied by the average current. Now this peak inverse voltage, it is different. For half wave rectifier, peak inverse voltage is different, maybe twice EM or VM. For full wave rectifier, it is EM. So it is peak inverse voltage will be average current. So this equation 1, it gives the volt ampere rating of the valve. So in this case, the voltage rating will be PIY, peak inverse voltage. For a half wave rectifier, it will be PIV. For a full wave rectifier, it will be the voltage. So voltage rating is the peak inverse voltage rating of the valve. Here, voltage rating is the peak inverse voltage rating of the valve, and current rating is the maximum current. This is average current. This is not the current rating. I am saying power rating is nothing but PIV into I average. Voltage rating is nothing but the PIV, and the current rating is nothing but the I max, which remains always constant. Okay, in HVDC, because we are saying current remains constant, current rating is I max. However, power rating is PIV into I average. So I am saying here that voltage rating is the PIV rating of the valve, and current rating is the maximum current that is flowing, okay, which is constant in HVDC system. And you know what is peak inverse voltage? It is the voltage across the non-conducting switches during the non-conduction phase. Okay, so this was first phase. So what is the voltage drop across a switch during the conduction phase? When a particular switch is conducting, we are saying it is in conduction phase, and when a particular switch is not conducting, we are saying it is a non-conduction state. So conduction state means short circuit, because we have assumed that these switches, they should means offer minimum resistance during conduction phase and maximum resistance during non-conduction phase. So obviously during the conduction mode, drop across this switch will be 0, and during the non-conduction mode, drop across the switch will be peak inverse voltage. Okay, So in case of a transformer, this was about the rectifier. So in case of a transformer, you know, whatever is the power rating on the primary side, same is the volt ampere rating on the secondary side. And the this volt ampere rating is given by the product of the RMS voltage and the RMS current. Okay. So in primary side, it will be VRMS, IRMS on the primary, and in secondary side, it will be IRMS into VRMS on the secondary side. But the overall primary volt ampere rating will be equal to the secondary volt ampere rating. So the power rating will be given by VRMS into IRMS. This is the volt ampere rating of a transformer. So what is the pulse number? Next definition is what is pulse number. So we discussed the rating definition of voltage rating, valve rating, then the transformer volt ampere rating, then the next is the pulse number. What is the pulse number? Suppose I am having a AC cycle like this. I have this AC cycle, I have one phase, the second phase will be 120 degree apart, this will be the second phase, the third phase will be 240 degree apart. 240 means this is 180, 180 and 90 will be 270, 240 will be here. 180, 200 and 240 will be around here. So this will be the third phase. Okay, it will be like this. So you tell me, I am saying what is the pulse number. Suppose I am saying it is coming like this, so it will come like this. Okay, so if I will start from here, this point. Okay, if I will start from this point, you can see this switch will conduct. Okay, it will be like this. The voltage, output voltage will be this. Okay, so then it will not go in this direction, it will go in this direction. It will come out like this, and then it will go like this continuously, and from here again like this, like this. So I am saying in one cycle of AC, how many pulses will be there? If I will start from this point and I will end suppose at, so I am starting at this point and I am ending at this point, so somewhere here. So how many pulses I will get? This is 1, this is 2nd, this is 3rd, this is 4th. How many pulses I will get in complete cycle of AC? Okay, so this thing is called as the pulse number. How many pulses of DC voltage are obtained for one complete cycle of AC? Okay, and it is denoted by a letter small p, because capital P we are specifying it by the voltage ampere rating. So the pulse number will be specified by the small p. So pulse number is the number of pulses of the DC voltage obtained on the DC side for one complete cycle of AC voltage. Means for one complete cycle of AC voltage, how many pulses will be there on the DC side? Okay, so this is called pulse number. The next is commutation group. You must have studied three-phase converter in your power electronics. You know that in case we have three switches on the upper side and three switches on the lower side of this three-phase converter, like switch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How they are conducting? 1, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this, na? So means one is conducting from upper group and one is conducting from lower group. So out of 6, how many are conducting? 2 are conducting. So these two will form a commutation group. Means 1 and 6 are conducting, they will form a commutation group. Then 2 and 4 will conduct. Means 1 is going is turned off and 2 is turned on the upper side. Similarly, 6 is turned off and 4 is turned on the lower side. But sometimes 2 and 6 will also conduct. Then 2 and 4 will conduct. So this will form 1 and 6 will form one commutation group, 2 and 4 will form other commutation group. Okay. So what do you mean by a commutation group? Commutation group is a group of valves in which only one group conducts at a time. At a time means one from upper or one from lower. In which only one group conducts at a time is known as the commutation group, and it is denoted by Q. Okay. So this is your commutation group. But we may have, this is one switch I am talking about, one means this three-phase converter. I may have number of converters connected in series and parallel. Okay, because in HVDC we are not talking about converter, we are talking about valves, because we are operating the system at 400 kV and it is not possible for one converter to handle 400 kV. We may use 100 converters in series and parallel. Okay, so number of valves in series is denoted by S and the number of valves in parallel is denoted by R. Okay, so therefore the number of pulses will be given by P is equal to Q into R into S. Q is the commutation group. Okay, how many switches are there? Into R, R is the which group? Series, no, parallel connected valves, and S is the series connected valves. So it will give us the total pulse number. Okay, so therefore number of pulses will be given by Q into R into S. Okay, so we talk about the average voltage, instantaneous voltage. Okay, so I am saying that I am taking the denoting the average voltage by VD naught, and I am saying this is the average voltage when the firing angle was equal to 0. Means firing angle was equal to 0, then the average voltage will be VD naught. So I will talk about the first half wave rectifier, then I will not draw waveforms for other rectifiers because it will be too complicated for me to draw these these waveforms, because we have half wave rectifier, then full wave bridge, then full wave center tap, then three-phase semi converter, then three-phase half wave rectifier, three-phase full wave, three-phase bridge converter, then switches. It is not possible to cover all those things in this HVDC. You all have studied these things in your power system, power electronics course, so I will not repeat it here. I will assume that you know these things, but still the basics I will revise here. So simply first the half wave rectifier. This is a simple circuit of a half wave rectifier. VD is the voltage across the diode. Okay, V1 is the voltage drop across the diode. So when the diode is on, that is during the conduction mode, what will be V1? V1 will be equal to 0. And when the diode is off, okay, at that time we will get V1. Okay, means then diode will be reverse bias, then there will be some drop across the diode, which is called as, will be called as the peak inverse voltage, okay, of this diode. Voltage across the diode in the reverse bias, it's called as the peak inverse voltage. So I'm saying this is E1 is equal to Vm sin omega t. I1 is the current flowing. So what will be V1? V1 will be nothing. V1 is what, if you will apply KVL, this is the E here. E will be equal to this plus VD, drop in this diode plus VD. Okay, so what will be V1 then? Drop across the diode, it will simply E1 minus VD. So E1 minus VD. So I am saying it will be Vm sin omega t. Okay, because when V1, when this will conduct, V1 will be 0. Okay, when this will conduct during the positive half cycle, V1 will be equal to 0. And when this will not conduct, okay, at that time what will be the voltage? Voltage will be simply E1, because at that time what will the voltage across the load? Nothing. Voltage across the load will be 0. This is open circuit, so current will not flow. There will be voltage only across this diode. So at that time it will be V1 will be only equal to E1 only. So it will be Vm sin omega t. Okay, so so this is this is Em or E1. Okay, E1, which is nothing but Vm sin omega t curve. Okay, so during the positive cycle, diode will conduct. What will be the VD then? Diode short circuit, VD will be equal to E1. So this VD is following the E1 up to point pi. So up to this point pi, V1 is short circuit. So what will be the voltage drop across the diode, that is V1? It will be 0. Okay. Now from pi to 2 pi, okay, diode is open circuit. So what will be the voltage here? Voltage will be here 0. Pi to 2 pi voltage 0, then again it will conduct. So what will be the voltage across the drop across the diode when it is open circuit? It is nothing but E1. So what is E1? Pi to 2 pi, this. So it is here. So this is magnitude is Vm here. Here magnitude is Vm. Here magnitude is Vm. So here magnitude will be equal to Vm. Here magnitude will be equal to Vm. Okay. So I'm saying VD naught will be equal to how much? It will be 0 to pi only, because in this case we are getting 0. There is no output 0, pi to 2 pi, it is 0. So we will integrate, though the 1 upon 2 pi, integration 0 to pi, because integration of this will be 0. So 0 to pi Vm sin omega t d of omega t. So if you will integrate this, you will get the average voltage will be equal to Vm upon pi. Okay, VD naught will be equal to Vm upon pi. Vm upon pi means average voltage will be like this. Okay, this will be the average voltage. Okay, so what is the peak inverse voltage? Peak inverse voltage is the voltage across the diode during reverse bias. It is nothing but Vm. So in one cycle, this is one cycle. Okay, this is one cycle. How many pulses are there in the output voltage, DC voltage? Only this cycle. This is, there is no, this only, we have only one pulse na here, and this is 0 here. So how many pulses will be there? Pulses will be equal to 1, and the voltage will be equal to Vm. So it is used, average voltage equal to Vm upon pi. It is used for low voltage application, half wave rectifier. It is used for low voltage application because average voltage is less Vm upon pi. So moving to next page. So this is the full wave rectifier. Okay, full wave rectifier, I am drawing here the secondary of the transformer. This is a center tap. Okay, here the voltage is E1 and here the voltage is E2. Vm sin omega t, Vm sin omega t. V1 is the drop across diode 1, V2 is the drop across diode 2, current through diode 1 is I1 and current through diode 2 is I2. Vd is the drop across the load. Okay. So tell me, what is the phase shift between E1 and E2? The phase shift between E1 and E2 is 180 degree. Okay. The phase shift between E1 and E2 is 180 degree because plus minus plus minus. So they are opposite. So there will be a 180 degree phase shift between E1 and E2. Vd is the voltage across the load. What will be V1? If you will use KVL, this E1 is nothing but V1 plus Vd. So what will be V1? V1 will be E1 minus Vd, and V2 will be nothing but E2 minus Vd always. V1 will be always equal to E1 minus Vd. You cannot write it E2 minus Vd. V1 will be always equal to E1 minus Vd, and V2 will be always equal to E2 minus Vd. Okay, that's what I am writing here. V1 is equal to E1 minus Vd and V2 is equal to E2 minus Vd. And E1 and E2 are 180 degree out of phase with each other. So I am saying if this is E2, this is E2 curve, solid line, this is E2 curve. So what will be the E1 curve? It will be 180 degree out of phase. So means 180 degree means here. Means this will be 0 when E2 will be 0 and it will enter the negative region. Then at that time E1 will enter the positive. E1 will become positive. Okay. So solid line is E2 and dotted line is E1. So this is Vm. This is also Vm, but in negative direction. Vm but in negative direction. So first let us assume what is Vd. As I told you, Vd is the voltage across the load. Vd during the positive from 0 to pi. 0 to pi, if you will see, from 0 to pi, E2 is positive and E1 is negative, I am saying. So if E2 is positive, this will conduct, and E1 is negative, this will not conduct. So it will be, Vd will be nothing but Em, because V2 will be 0 at that time because it is short. So Vd will be equal to E2, which is nothing but Em. This magnitude here, from here to here, it is Vm. Sorry, Vm sin omega t. It is Vm. So from at t is equal to omega t equal to pi, E2 will be 0. So this diode will turn off and this diode will turn on. So what will be Vd at the time? At the time it will be Vd will be equal to E1, which is again equal to Vm, maximum Vm. Similarly, in this stage again the diode 2 will conduct. Okay. So I am saying this is Vd. Okay, this is Vd. This is Vd. Vd means it is coming from here. We are moving in this direction. This, then from this, in this direction, this, and again then this, in this direction, then this. So let us see what is Vm then. This is D. Then let us calculate the average voltage. Average voltage we can take 1 upon, because we can take average from here to here only. Then it is cyclic wave na. From we will take here to here. Then the cycle will again repeat. Okay. So we will take 1 upon pi, 0 to pi. Okay. Vm sin omega t d omega t, which is coming out twice Vm upon pi. So Vd naught is equal to twice Vm by pi. So it is less than Vm. Pi is equal to 3.14. So Vd naught is again less than Vm. So what is the average voltage? Average voltage will be this. this will be average voltage from this to this point. This will be VD naught, average voltage, VD naught, and it is coming out this because this was the voltage. So we will take the average of this, so it will come out like this. Okay, so magnitude of this average voltage will be slightly less than this Vm. Okay, so this is the average voltage which is given by the formula. Where is the formula? Twice Vm upon pi. Vd naught is given by twice Vm upon pi. Vd naught equal to twice Vm upon pi. So tell me, okay, I am saying that this is the peak inverse voltage. Let us talk about the peak inverse voltage. When E2 was conducting, when diode 2 was conducting, diode 1 was reversed by it. Means diode 1, there will be voltage, some voltage across this diode. Means there will be V1 at that time. And what will be equal? What will be the magnitude of Vm? Vm will be nothing but Vd minus. We are saying that when the diode is this diode 2 is conducting, the diode 1 is open circuit, and there will be the drop across this diode. Okay, I am representing it by V1. So this is V1 curve. Okay, now V1. So you can see V1 is nothing but E1 minus Vd. Okay, so E1 minus Vd. So E1, you know, it is Vm. What is Vd? It is again Vm. So E1 and this Vd is here Vm, and E1 is also equal to Vm. Okay, but you know that this Vd and Em, sorry, this and this, they are 180 degree out of phase with each other. So 180 degree out of phase means this is Vm negative and this is Vd. So this Vm minus this Vd, so Vm minus Vd, so this Vd will be added to this but in the reverse direction. Okay, so if it will be this plus this, it will be 0. But is this minus this minus this, negative of this means it will be in this direction. So magnitude will get added. It will be equal to twice Vm. So this is the peak inverse voltage of the diode. V1, I am talking about V1 curve. This is only the V1 curve. Here V1 will be equal to 0. And again here V1 will be equal to twice Vm, which is nothing but E1 minus Vd. If I will draw a V2 curve, then I will get V2 is equal to twice Vm in this direction. Okay. So next is the diode current I1. So from 0 to pi, V1 is not conducting, I1 will be equal to 0. From pi to 2 pi, I1 is conducting and I2 is equal to 0. So this I1 is conducting and it is equal to ID, the current through the load. This is ID. And here it is again 0. 0 to pi it is 0. Pi to 2 pi it is conducting. 2 pi to 3 pi it is again 0. So this is the I2 curve. From 0 to pi, I2 is conducting and it is equal to ID. Okay. From pi to 2 pi, I2 is not conducting, it is equal to 0. And this is I1 and I2. No, this is the secondary of a transformer. What is the primary current in the transformer? What will be the current in the transformer primary? It is nothing but the sum of the two currents. Okay. Because here we are taking the turns ratio equal to 1. Okay. So sorry, if I am taking turns ratio equal to T, if I am taking turns ratio equal to 1, it will be simply ID here. I will add these two simply. So during pi to 2 pi, it will be ID but in the negative direction. Then from pi to 2 pi, it will be ID in the positive direction if I am taking turns ratio equal to 1. But if I am taking a turns ratio of equal to T and I have a current ID on the secondary side, what will be the current in the primary side? It will be ID by T. So current in the primary side of the transformer will be ID by T. Magnitude will change. Okay. But polarity will remain same, means negative, then positive, then this. Okay. So this is all about this this waveforms of a full wave center tap transformer. So after the full wave center tap transformer, third, fourth, fifth. Yes. So what will be Vd naught? In this case, I told you it will be twice Vm upon pi. What will be peak inverse voltage? Peak inverse voltage will be twice Vm. How many pulses are we getting? How many output pulses of how many pulses are we getting in the DC for one complete cycle of AC? Means we are getting two pulses, one this and second this. So two pulses of AC, so number of pulses will be equal to 2. Average current will be ID by 2. This is the current. So average current will be ID by 2. So average valve rating will be VM into ID. Okay. VM into ID. Valve rating will be VM into ID. Just a minute. Because we know that average current is ID by 2 and peak inverse voltage is equal to twice VM. So if we will multiply by 2, so it will come out to be VM into ID. So next is the full wave bridge rectifier. I am not going to draw the diagram of the full wave rectifier. I will only give the formula. So in case of a full wave bridge rectifier, again VD naught is equal to twice VM upon pi, as in case of a center tap rectifier. Peak inverse voltage here will be twice VM. However, it will be peak inverse voltage will be VM in here in case of a full wave bridge rectifier. In case of a full wave center tap, it was peak inverse voltage was twice VM. So peak inverse voltage reduces. Average current is same, ID by 2. Number of pulses is 2. So valve rating will be 0.5 VM into ID. So because PIV reduces here by half, so valve rating will always reduce by half. If it is VM by ID here, it will be 0.5 VM into ID. So peak inverse voltage is half, and it is used for high power application as well, because twice VM upon pi. In case of center tap, we were also getting twice VM upon pi, but in case of a half wave, we are getting VM upon pi. But there is a problem in case of a center tap rectifier, that the transformer was not utilized properly. So that problem has been solved in case of a full wave bridge rectifier. That is, better utilization of transformer is obtained as compared to the DC. No, sorry, as compared to a half wave center, as compared to full wave center tap rectifier. So after that, we will have a 3-phase half wave rectifier. This is the circuit of a 3-phase half wave rectifier. I will have diode 1, 2, and 3. Voltage drops across them will be V1, V2, and V3. VD is the voltage across the load. ID is the current, total current. So EA, EB, and EC are the phase voltages. So I will tell you, because you know that for 120 degree VA will conduct. Okay. This diode will conduct for 120 degrees. So if it will conduct for 120 degree, so it will remain short. So what will be the voltage V1 drop across this? It will be equal to 0. Okay. For 120 to 240 degree, for 120 to 240, it will remain off, and there will be some drop across this. Okay. So at that time, the drop across this, it will be given by EA minus EB. Okay. And from 240 to 360 degree, 240 to 360 degree, the drop will be given by EA minus EC for 240 to 360 degree. Because you know, first this will conduct, then the other will conduct, and then the other will conduct. So similarly, whichever will conduct, drop across that will be equal to 0. Okay. So the output voltage, average output voltage in case of a 3-phase half wave rectifier, it is given by VD naught is equal to 3 root 3 EM upon, sorry, this is not EM, I am representing VM. I will take it as VM. It will be 3 root 3 VM upon 2 pi. And if you will obtain how many pulses will be there for one complete cycle of AC, means for one complete cycle of AC, there will be 3 pulses. First phase A will conduct, then phase B will conduct, then phase C will conduct. For 120 degree, phase A will conduct 0 to 120 degree, and from 120 to 240 degree, phase B will conduct, and from 240 to 360 degree, phase C will conduct. So whichever phase will conduct, it will give us the VD will be, means the voltage across will be contributed by that phase. Okay. So number of pulses will be 3. Number of pulses will be equal to 3. So in this case, the commutation group, it is chosen in such a way that only one valve is conducting at a time. Means this is conducting at a time, and these two are off. Then this will conduct, and these two will remain off. And then this will conduct, and these two will remain off. So commutation group is chosen in such a way that only one valve is conducting at a time. So this was all about the, I will try to explain these now, how 3 pulses are obtained. I will try to explain it on this now way on this now 3-phase waveform. Through 3-phase waveform, I will try to explain this. So P is equal to 3. So this is all for today's lecture. In lecture number 29, I will continue this half wave rectifier, and then I will switch to directly to this 3-phase full wave converters. And one more topic is left, that is how this 12 pulse arrangement is obtained. Okay, so that is all for today. Thank you very much.